Finally, I'm back on the live, baby. Back on the live. Listen, we are hyped. We are hyped. Nine game winning streak. Come on, let's talk our talk. We here to talk our talk today. Streets of New York are buzzing. And we're here to talk about it. We got a lot to cover. I want to welcome you back. First off, let me holler at the chat real quick. Let me know if y'all can hear me, because I don't want to go 40 minutes into this live and nobody hearing what I'm saying, because we got a lot to discuss. We got a lot to get off our chest today. So if you in the chat, throw one up for me and let me know if you can hear me. Yo, I'm hyped to be back. This is my first live in months. So we got a lot to talk about. Our New York Knicks are tearing the league up. We tearing the league up and we're here to talk about it. Let's go. Welcome back, KD community. I know I've been away for a little bit. But listen, my ear's been to these YouTube streets. Okay? My ear has been to these YouTube streets and we're here to talk about it. We're in a good space as a fan base, as an organization. And I'm loving every moment of it. So I want to just thank everybody joining me. Yo, we about to get this thing popping. It's our time. It's our time, Knicks fans. It's our time. So I want to welcome you all to Knicks Deli. I am your host, Sheer. And welcome back. If you're returning to the channel, welcome back, KD community. If you're here for the first time, we about to turn this mother flipper up. Oh yeah, we about to turn this mother flipper up. It's a lot to chop up today, and we're here to do it. But I want to welcome you all. Listen, this is Knicks Deli. This is not going to be the usual format. If this is your first time, usually we do the bacon, egg, and cheese. We talk about who's the bacon, egg, and cheese of the game. Okay, that typically would be who are the three players that stood out to help make that thing bussin'. Okay, and we may get to that. We may talk about who are the three major topics. All right, but other than that, it could be the bacon, egg, and cheese, the chopped cheese, the dollar slice, the quarter water. That's all the things that are on the Knicks menu. We even have the glizzy of the game that we give to the person who we want that shut the F up. Okay? But this is going to be, we got so much to cover today that we're not necessarily going to go by that format. But we got a lot to get into. And I want you to be engaged. Talk to me through this chat, man. It's a lot that I want, and I'm going to even put the link in there if you want to hop on and discuss these topics. We all for it today. I got time today, goddamn it. Oh yeah. I got some time today. So we're going to get into all of that. How about your New York Knicks? Let's talk about that. How about your New York mother flipping Knicks? Talk to me about how you feel. Are you hyped? Are you excited? Okay? Listen, they ain't just your New York Knicks. These are the Wolves of Wall Street. Okay? The Wolves of Wall Street, we set the nation on fire right now. Everybody's talking about us. We always talk about the major media trying to throw their little slights. But guess what? We are the hottest ticket in the league right now. They have no choice but to recognize us. They have no choice but to talk about us. And now they're trying to change their tune. Y'all hear that? Now everybody's trying to change their tune. Your girl Janae on ESPN, who's on there with Malika and Kendrick Perkins, Perkins was just like, now finally, people are starting to listen and pay attention to what I've been saying all along. Finally, people are starting. And Janae was just like, well, Perk, you keep leaving me. I was with, no, you weren't with him. No, you weren't with him. You was there with Malika Andrews when we would have nationally televised games, smirking and laughing at the New York Knicks and where they were. Even when we were making progress, you just didn't know enough about the progress we were making. So you were siding with your homegirl while we were on televised games, making these little snarky comments. Now you trying to align yourself? Nah. You wildin'. We ain't accepting that. So we're going to talk about a couple of things today, all right? Just to name a few, here are a few things we're going to talk about, folks. We're going to talk about our surge, all right? We're going to talk about how people are suddenly moving the goalposts. Before it used to be the Knicks aren't a competent organization. Then it used to be, they can't win. The New York Knicks don't have enough talent. You remember that? We don't have this. We always will have the second best player on the floor. You remember all that? The goalpost continues to move. Okay? Now what the New York Knicks have done, we've built a team. We've built a team that is competent. Out of necessity, we've had to build a team. Because them stars were too soft. They didn't want to come here. If we're going to talk about your boy LeBron James, if we're going to talk about that influence and that grip he's had on the league, the moment he started disparaging the New York Knicks, started using Charles Oakley as an excuse as to why he didn't or I'll never play for that organization. Then every other so-called superstar, they shied away from it because nobody wanted to be in the back races of LeBron, not their king. So each and every one of them who had an opportunity, Paul George, KD, nobody wanted to cross that line and stand on the other side. But you know who did? Your boy Julius Randle did. Your boy Jaylen Brunson did. Sometimes you got to take a risk and ask yourself, what side of history do you want to be on? And there's chances that you can fail and there's chances that you could be successful. Your boy LeBron James has always been mindful about what his narrative is, what his legacy is going to be when he puts down his shoes. He's been so lockstep and focused on comparing himself to LeBron, to Michael Jordan. Even your boy KD's trying to throw his name in a hat about being the GOAT. You cannot be the GOAT if you don't have adversity that you've overcome. If you didn't accept the challenge that everybody else said was impossible and you made it possible. And there could be no better summation of that as an example than this past week when we were named two of our guys, All-Stars for the NBA. A round of applause. Let me drop a bomb, a flex bomb. For Julius Randle and Jaylen Brunson. Yo, listen, there's nobody with more stripes than Julius Randle right now. I don't care how you feel as a Knick fans, if at this point in time you feel a certain way about Julius Randle, you need to stop. I got my people, love my people. Come on, my guy, chances. But he's a baller. You know what I mean? He's knowledgeable about the game, but he's like, yo, shit, man. Come on, man. Look, I know what Randle does. I'll give him credit, but let me see it in the playoffs. There is no more asterisk on Julius Randle's name. Put some respect on that man's name. That man's name is in the record books right now for the New York Knicks. He's a 3-time All-Star with the New York Knicks. 3 times. All NBA player, most improved player. The man got accolades with a Knicks jersey on. And he chose to come here. He got ridiculed. Come on, this man has been forged in a fire of New York. He is a wolf of Wall Street. He sat there. Look, there was no covering for him that first run. No covering. When he failed big time in the hottest spotlight of New York. Every superstar, fake superstar saw him. They saw the backlash from the fans. They saw the crucifixion in the media. Yo, yo, his shoulders slumped. He gave us the thumbs down. He went toe-to-toe with Knicks fans. And he had an opportunity to opt out. He had an opportunity to leave. He had an opportunity to request a trade. And word on the street is that he did. But that front office was like, nah, we ain't letting you leave. You need to deal with this. Because just as sour as the sour becomes in New York, it's just as sweet if we do this thing the right way and we make it to where we want to go. We've seen people come and we've seen people go. And Julius now is in a place where he has been the engine. He's been the stabilizing factor from the point of us being terrible to the point of us now being considered contenders in this mother flipping league. Put some respect on Julius Randle's name. Never a question about his injuries, his availability. The man, when he goes down, he goes down with big time injuries, and he fights his way to get back. Injured all the time, you will never hear it from him. Never complains, puts in the work. Even has corrected all the things that have frustrated us. We talked about the goddamn spin move, and he got rid of it. We talked about the fact that his body language needed to change, and he adjusted that. The man now, all those players that may or may not be here any longer will still speak with respect about Julius. They put respect on that man's name as a big bro. So we there now, Knicks fans. Put respect on Julius Randle's name. He's ours until he's not. So congratulations to that dude, one of our all-stars. And then we got to talk about who is the next star. We got to talk about the superstar that has emerged. I told you months ago. Let's not wait until major media calls him a superstar when we know what we see every night. We know what we see every night. I'm telling you, bro, if you came up in the 90s, and we're going to get to that. My Gen Z people, yo, look, we're going to talk about this divide that is now starting to merge us together. Okay? Some of us old heads always look affectionately at the 90s, and we point at the 90s and this, that, and the 90s. And now y'all get sick of it. Y'all like, yo, y'all 90s cats, man, yo, let it go. No. We're not letting it go. Because what you see now and what you have fallen in love with now, this toughness on the team, this defensive dedication to the team, the fact that players come into the league, they come into Madison Square Garden, they don't have big time nights anymore. When you got Lil Halliburton trying to puff up after a dunk, you got DiVincenzo pushing him off. Those days are over. Those days are over. No. Friend or foe, we want all of the smoke. That's the type of team that you see now. That's what we saw in the 90s. So now we're here together. Because it was hard for you to envision and imagine what we were talking about. Sometimes you thought we were making it up. You thought that we were over-exaggerating what our experience was. No. This is what we are used to. This is Knicks culture. So that heat culture that they talk about, that everybody's like, oh, anybody that goes to the Heat, they become important players, even if they're no names. No, listen. Before that was Heat culture, that was Knick culture. That's the basis that Pat Riley established into New York, and he just took it with him to Miami. And then it became Jeff Van Gundy who kept it going for us until he left. And we got away from it. We lost our identity at that time. Which is why I laugh at all the people who poo-poo Tom Thibodeau's name. Because I knew what we were getting when they hired him. And it's almost like medicine. It's disgusting when you take the first shot of medicine. It takes a little bit of time for it to work, but it works every time. Tom Thibodeau's goddamn system. And when you have the coach and you have the front office in alignment, it's almost like having parents, right? You got mom and you got dad. And sometimes mom will tell you no. And what you try to do is you go into the other room, you ask that same question to dad. And dad will say, you know what, go ahead. If they ain't on the same page. But when you got the two parents on the same page, kids can't get away with nothing. So when you have a moment where you have like an Obi who doesn't vibe, it doesn't feel like he's on the same page with the coach, he can't go to the other side. They're in agreement. We need to do what's best for the player and the team. So we have to make adjustments. But when you have those, the coach and the front office on the same page in terms of the vision and where they want to take the organization and where we can go and the identity of this team and the style of play that we want and the type of players that we need, then you get a player like this young man here. Jaylen mother flipping Brunson. Dallas had a chance to keep him. Thank you, Dallas. Had a chance to keep that man. They saw what it was. But the moment they tripped up, your front office took that opportunity to go for it. We need another piece. We don't know what he's going to be. They didn't really know. Nobody knew what he could be next to Julius. But what they did know is we needed a point guard. A point guard who had an ability to score. Point guard who wasn't afraid of the spotlight. Hell, he was raised in a spotlight. Mocking the moves of Latrell Sprewell. The form of Allen Houston. The toughness needed from Patrick Ewing, all in the 90s. He was around that. He was baptized with that oil. And he's here. All of those days, all of those years, the past 20 years, when the media got rich, they got fat off of disrespecting the New York market. All of the other fan bases, they had their time. They reveled in the fact that you didn't want to be associated with New York because associating with the New York Knicks meant you were losers. And during that time, many of the fans moved away from following their teams as a favorite team. And they start loving on players. And the New York fan base was lost. We were the last of a generation that loved our players, but we loved the team. We loved the name on the front of the jersey more than the names on the back. And we were ridiculed for it. But where are we now? How are you going to turn the largest market around? How are you going to help reemerge the sleeping giant of the NBA? One of the original teams here in the NBA, and they disrespecting us like we a goddamn expansion team. You go get players who have a heart for New York, who vibe with the energy and the identity, who connects with what New York is. Gritty, tough, in your face, respectfully disrespectful, resilient, persistent, accepts no excuses. What type of players embody that? Coach, point them out. Front office, know what you see when you see it. And go get it. We had to be creative to create this team. And every step that we did, they tried to ridicule us for it. Stephen A. Smith was a pawn in their game. We got Julius Randle, Max Kellerman sat there with the tape covering KD's name and had written in marker Randle's name. How do you think that makes Randle feel? Nobody thinks of these people as humans. He grabbed that jersey, Stephen A. Smith, the largest personality on the largest sports network in the game, grabbed that jersey and threw it out over his shoulder. How do you think that makes a player feel? And like any media that you watch regularly, you consume it, and sometimes it becomes part of your energy. So now his own home fan base is critiquing every move. So they convinced that man to stay. Nah, man, you got to go through this fire. But we're going to get you help. We got to find somebody, but we got to be creative, because word on the street is everybody stay away from the Garden. Nah, because LeBron ain't going there. You see how they treated Oakley? I will never play. Listen, you got Chris Paul, like the president of Players Union, talking about not going there. The level of influence that was against us as an organization. We're not supposed to be where we are right now. That little brief glimmer of a moment when Phil Jackson was here, he said, we got to get creative. We got to go beat the bushes and figure out ways to get talent to come here, even if we got to look overseas or anywhere. And the Knicks figured it out. They brought in Daddy Brunson, added him to the team, sweeten that pot a little bit. I'll accept the fees for tampering. Get that young man here. Put him next to Julius, another piece. Next to Mitch, another piece. Next to Randle, another piece. Assumably next to RJ and IQ. But this young man far exceeded what we thought and expected for him. He's been a mother flipping juggernaut. A mother flipping juggernaut. Yo, bro, the man got game from the 90s. Listen, this can't be no more of a New York player. His game is appreciated nowhere else but in New York. In a league, in a time that flash and dash is what gets you top starter votes for the All-Star game. That's what these fair weather fans outside of the New York market, that's what they're attracted to. The oohs and ahs. Did I cross them? Was it a good shuffle? Is it going to make the highlights? Not the up and unders, not the pivot, not the toughness and ones. That's only appreciated in a New York market. Mike Breen had the call of the century the other night. Jaylen Brunson, born to play basketball. Birth room, Madison Square Garden. Oh, we're going to talk our talk today. But really quick, let me just holler. Let me read some of these comments. What's up, chat? Yeah, I'm sorry. Listen, I'm going in today. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. Sorry I left you without a dope beat to step to. What's up, my guy, Rug? Rugs 89, New York. Yo, salute, my brother, salute. What's good with you? Big Task. Welcome back, baby. What's going on, man? What's going on? We here to talk our talk today. Big Task at hand says, salute, happy Saturday. Hope all is well. All is well. You know what's going on with this Knicks universe. All is well, and we here to talk about it. My guy Ray Gomez says, man, the Knicks have been playing fantastic without Julius Randle. Hope he's out for the rest of the season. The Knicks are better defensively. They're more of a team. If you think we're going anywhere without Julius Randle, you off your rocker. But what up, Jay? I'm sorry, what up, Ray? If you think we're going anywhere without Julius Randle, you are off your rocker. This man has unlocked his own cheat code. Who can guard him? The only person guarding Julius Randle is Julius Randle. You remember at the beginning of the season, before the season even started, I think it was like the end of preseason, he sat down with Stephen A. Smith. And Stephen A. Smith kowtowing like he does. Oh, come on, you a baller. You were just that, But something I noticed is you pull back from your three-point game. You pull back from your three-point game. Why is that? And Julius Randle said, I spent time this summer watching videotape of myself. And throughout the season, last season, and something I realized was I need to get back to being a bull in the china shop. Because nobody wants to stand in my way when I'm driving to the basket. I need to get back to what my bread and butter is. I need to get back to driving to the lane. And ever since he did, he's been a problem for the league. Nobody wants to get beat up. And that used to be the Carmelo Anthony formula. You got Kobe Bryant on record saying He's a low down low. He's just a physical problem to guard. Every one of these new age players, Paul George, all of them, LeBron James, talking about they got to put ice packs on whenever they come face to face and have to battle Melo. Julius has figured it out. They don't want to guard him. There's a select few who don't get punished when Julius is removed from that three-point line and he starts attacking the basket and he's skilled enough. Yo, point out, name me 5 players at that position who is as nimble and as offensively versatile. And now, since they got Jaylen Brunson and DiVincenzo hitting his three-point shots and Anunoby hitting his three-point shots, before that injury, Julius Randle was at the doorstep to joining Jaylen Brunson as a superstar in this league. You saw the ascension about to happen. Because before, nobody was hitting his shots. Yo, I already know y'all going to try to kill me. I love RJ Barrett. I love Emmanuel Quickly. Every time Julius hit RJ Barrett in the corner, he missed that three-point shot. It was 50-50 once IQ caught it. How automatic has DiVincenzo been? How automatic has Anunoby been from the corner? That's the reason Jaylen Brunson's assists have gone up from like 4 or 5 to 7. That's why Julius Randle's assists have gone up. When you have the quality players who can hit those shots around you. And that's the missing link. And that's what's going to help Julius Randle be successful in the playoffs. When you got players around you who can do their job. That's the difference. Yo, we got 2-star players. We got one superstar already, and we have another one waiting to join. I'm telling you. And I'm not as effusive and so quick to be effusive with my praise with Julius Randle. But I'm telling you, prior to that dislocation, he was about to him and Brunson as a team. Boy, I'm telling you, they were moving as a duo. They're not scared of Milwaukee's duo. No, they're not. Boston is a problem, yes, but there is no fear. And our surge is now taking us to the doorstep of the 2nd seed in the conference. Y'all better talk to me. What are we talking? So my guy Ray, man, come on, man. Yo, put some respect on Julius Randle's name. Gotta put some respect on that man's name for what he's done since he's been here. And now, this season, he's starting to separate himself. Every matchup he's facing, he's giving people work. Every point guard matchup, and I knew it would happen with Brunson. I knew it would happen with Brunson. The moment they slighted him last year from any of the honors, All-Star, All-NBA, Most Improved Player, how you not give that man Most Improved Player last year? I knew it. I said he's going to punish the league this season. Every point guard matchup that Jaylen Brunson has come against, he gave him work. The only time he didn't necessarily come through was against Kyrie. And everybody struggles with Kyrie. So it's so crazy, so crazy. So Ray, my brother says, I have to admit, he's been learning first time wanting tape or reading tape. Yeah, I know. I heard that also. It's a good point. He never watched tape, watched the PG podcast. 100%. But that's what you hope for. And that's also the influence of your point guard. You know, Boston is no problem. Knicks not scared of Boston. I agree. Okay. And most improved this year for Brunson. Look, we'll see. We'll see. But man, there's so much I want to get into. That's one of them. Yo, Pacers, that Pacers game, crazy. That I was so proud just to be a Knicks fan watching that. When you could feel the energy through the television. Let's talk about it, Knicks fans, man. I love just our arena. Our arena now, we are holding court at home. There is no easy win no more when you come to MSG. There ain't nobody dropping historical games and adding to their resume when they walk into the Garden no more. Those days are over. Those days are over. Halliburton tried. He tried to get the little dunk, and he just kept it a step longer. He tried to keep it a step longer with DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo wasn't having it. DiVincenzo was not having it. He pushed him off, and I was just like, yeah, we here now. We here. Those days are over. Those days are absolutely over. I don't know what you used to be accustomed to when you came into Madison Square Garden. I don't know what you were accustomed to before, but those days are over now. We hold down fort. Now teams think twice about coming into the Garden. They don't think about dropping 30. They try to think about it, but they know it's not going to happen because we got one of the top defenses in the league. That's why. It's not going to happen no more. Sorry, buddy. We ain't doing it. It's different. It's a different time. It's a different time right now. So, and y'all know what? Y'all notice this as well? And I love the fact we have Julius Randle, who made the All-Star team, and we have Jaylen Brunson for his first time. One of many first-time All-Star. And at the end of that game, bro, the fact that we were down, he got injured. Next play, bounce right back. And listen, I don't want to harp on a lot of what everybody's harped on. I watched a lot, and I've really sat back and enjoyed a lot of the content creators, everybody's reaction. I shared it where you just feel something special is happening with our team. And it just feels good that everybody now outside of New York is starting to recognize the magic that we've been experiencing over the last 2 years. I love the fact that now everybody is seeing everything that we was talking about. I love the fact that Perk was watching the games for him to be able to see that. So I love all of that. But man, that moment in the post-game interview, and shout out to my guy, Alan Hahn, because he played it right. That post-game interview, man, where Brunson was just present in the moment. Tough game. And he said, that's fun. That was fun. That was fun. And then Alan Hahn just asked him, man, like, yo, how does it feel learning that you became an All-Star? Knowing that was one of your goals you was able to chip off. Coming back and securing this victory against your rivals. Get an MVP chance from a full-packed Madison Square Garden, Celebrity Row. Now it's tough to get a ticket at MSG. How did you feel? And you could see the lips starting to quiver. You could see him just reflect on, man, and this guy is stoic. Stoic. But he had that moment where you could just tell he was overwhelmed. It's the hard work. It's the dreaming. It's the vision. It's the adjustment to a new team and a new environment and new teammates. It's losing teammates, gaining teammates and gaining their trust and being the face of that. And there was a moment, man, that had us all captured, bro. Like, this is our guy. And he's just getting started. Beautiful, bro. We are in a good space right now. And I know it's tough for many of you to believe. So you're not fully allowing yourself to immerse yourself in what's happening right now. And I get it. That's the PTSD. But as a fan who grew up really enjoying the heartbreak of the 90s team, because as much as we want to talk about the 90s so affectionately, the Knicks in the 90s were cardiac Knicks. That wasn't fun. It was fun because we usually would pull it out. It was a grind. We wasn't having these offensive outbursts. The New York Knicks today have been dominating by more than like 15 points. Almost every game. We have not just won during this 9-game win streak. We've dominated. But in the 90s, man, we would be winning and scoring 88 points. That was ugly basketball. It was a grind. So not all the fans who grew up in the 90s want everything about the 90s to return. But you see what it's about. You see that everybody has bought in. Everybody has bought into what Tibbs is selling. It's a beautiful thing to experience, man. It's a beautiful thing to experience. Let me hit up a couple more of these chats. My guy Ray is on it today. What you talking, Ray? He says JB has a mentality of Kobe Bryant. Bro, talk your talk. This is why you need to stop questioning anybody who says JB is not a superstar. We need to see more from him. We need to see this in the playoffs. We need to see that. Stop letting them set the definition for what a superstar is for us. We know what we see. I was about to say a little bit earlier, if you're growing up in the 90s, bro, and I know several references, I don't care. This is my show. I'm going to keep referencing the 90s because I knew what a superstar was. We were there when Jordan was killing us. We would have him on the ropes, beat down. We locked down everybody else on the team. We assumed he was going to drop 50. Y'all get all hyped up when a player comes in and gets 35. Jordan was dropping 55. There was nothing we could do about it. We threw everything in the kitchen sink at him. Nothing we could do about it. So recognize when Brunson is doing the same thing to other teams. I know what a superstar looks like. That's what he looks like. Because against Indiana, they couldn't do nothing about it. They couldn't do nothing about it. Unstoppable. That's a superstar. And Ray Gomez is right. JB has that mentality of Kobe Bryant. Yo, I love when they got a shot of him cursing at the crowd. And at first I was trying to read, everybody was trying to read his lips. And it looked like he was saying, all that, everything you was talking, shut the F up. I don't know if that was to the media or if he looked at the crowd. Everybody who's sitting, stand the F up. So one of those two things he had to say. That's my impression. But that raw emotion as our leader, basically he was talking for the fan base, for the organization, for all those people who doubted him. That's that message that was for them. And that's the type of stuff that makes New York ride with you. Makes New York ride with you. That's us. He's talking for all of us. All those times we couldn't talk out, talking no circles. I never engage in these, what is it called? The spaces that are on Twitter. But that's us everywhere. Anytime we're at the water cooler, anytime we're in the schoolyard, anytime we're on the basketball court, we can never engage and talk like we want to as Knicks fans. For 25 years, talk your talk now. I don't even care if you ain't part of the conversation. You make yourself part of the conversation. Talk your talk now. Because it's our time. It's our time to. And Jaylen Brunson is going to make that time extend for at least 8 or 9 years. Talk your talk now. They're going to try to shut us up. They're already doing it. Part of the topics that I'm hearing on even sports radio are Knicks fans. What are they saying? Are Knicks fans? Should the Knicks fans go all in and supporting this team and risk being disappointed? Don't let them do that to you. Don't let them do it to you. Every day we win, we celebrate like it's a championship. I don't care. Every day we win. Don't put caveats on your own team. Don't temper your expectation and your joy. Don't pull back from celebrating until we win a championship. You want to do that? You want to not enjoy this whole journey with this team until they pull a championship home? And then you can say, oh, I can enjoy this now? No, why do that? Every win, every celebration, every accomplishment, every moment, enjoy this journey. Don't sit. It's almost like, in terms of life, you're just going to wait until your deathbed to reflect on everything that you've done and enjoy it. Why? What? Every moment, enjoy this ride. Every moment. because your boy is killing the league. He is killing the league, and he's talking his talk. He's very slick with it. They get him in interviews, and he's humble, and but you see him on the court talking trash, talking his talk. When he gets that and one, when he's going ham on people, he's talking his talk. And every game that we play, people are respecting not only him but us because we're following his lead. Julius has completely acquiesced that leadership role. He's still a bully. He's still our bully, but he completely defers to Brunson as the leader of this team. He locks in on him. He falls apart when Brunson ain't in the lineup. We saw that. But he's going to figure that out. Because Knicks fans, don't crucify him for that. This is his second team. This is his second season playing next to a superstar point guard. A superstar point guard. Let Julius adjust and figure out how to match that energy. As Jaylen goes, Julius will go. And as they both go, we're going to go. Right before that dislocation, he was there with him. We got to be hyped for that. We got to be hyped for that. So that's a great point, man. Great point. Let me see, what else are we talking? We got my guy, big task at hand. Poking Brunson's eye to get a free point couldn't even work. They can't stop Brunson, my guy. They couldn't do nothing with him. Nothing with him. Big task at hand. Talking this talk. Jaylen Brunson is the truth. Absolutely. Absolutely. Knicks will be 2026 NBA champions. Let's go. We want to welcome you. I think you may be new to the channel. Welcome. He says MVP Brunson, Coach of the Year Tibbs. Yo, let's talk about it. Because I had this funny feeling. It's also award season for the New York Knicks. We don't want to get drunk with the wine of the world, but we're going to enjoy these drinks though. Because a few days ago, I made a post on X, and I said, 9-game winning streak, not a peep from the major media. And I sent that out. Somebody held me accountable, and I give them credit for that. They was just like, yo, bro, stop. We're all over the TV. All they doing is talking about the Knicks. And then I had to think about it. I don't even watch TV no more. I go straight to YouTube. I get my news selectively. You know, that's part of the PTSD. You start choosing and picking what you want to put into your mental. So I was like, damn, you might be right, bro. Because I was just going according to the number of video topics that I would see pop up if it came from ESPN or anywhere else, you know? So I had to pay attention. And once I started paying attention, I started noticing, damn, they are covering us. But that's part of it. Once you start winning consistently, then they pay attention. And I also said on social media that Tibbs creates stars. There's a lot of people who agree with me. But there was a couple of people who's like, yo, bro, what stars he created? He didn't even develop the two that we sent out in RJ and IQ. Stop playing. Stop playing. IQ came into the league without a handle. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? He couldn't really penetrate the basketball unless it was a fast break. What are we talking about? Y'all don't remember the summer league where he sat? When Tom Thibodeau attended the summer league, and after the game, he sat with Obi and IQ and talked to them about what they need to do to improve in terms of what he's looking to do with them in a regular season. They were tight. The man is a starter now for the Toronto Raptors. He helped with that development. Gave Obi the opportunity to go to a team where he could start, and he started. I don't know what's going on because I haven't seen the games, but Obi at least had that opportunity to be a starter on another team. But when I'm talking about creation of stars, I'm talking about what we're seeing now, the next man up mentality. We saw that script before. We saw it in Chicago, where when all of those injuries happened, Joakim Noah, a guy with no jump shot, a guy who has the ugliest free throw shot form in the history of the NBA. We saw him not only become Defensive Player of the Year, but was in the MVP conversation when all those injuries happened and they started running the offense through Joakim Noah. When there was the emergence, and now the name is known in the NBA for Taj Gibson, Luol Deng. Yeah, Derrick Rose was a superstar, but you still have to develop the offense around him. Jimmy Butler came through under Tom Thibodeau. What are we talking about? All those injuries happened. Kirk Heinrich. Tom Thibodeau will get the most out of his players. That's what I mean in terms of stars. Someone where they become a household name in this NBA under Tom Thibodeau. Tom Thibodeau will get the most out of you if you buy into what he's selling. The moment you buck against him, that's when your minutes diminish. He's going to tell you what you need to do to put in the work and get it done. I remember him in the post-game interview just talking specifically about RJ. He said, in the second season that I was here, when RJ had that breakout season, RJ was here late after games, putting in work. He was here early. He was putting in all this time. And in the following season, he said, RJ needs to get back in the gym. He's moved away from what he was doing that helped him go to the next level. I don't know what's going on, but he's not doing that. If he gets back to doing what he was doing in that second season, you'll see the change in his game. I don't think he went back to it. But it's crazy, man. It's crazy. It is award season. I can see another Coach of the Year for Tom Thibodeau. I would love for things to work out where he has to coach the All-Star team. That counts. Depending on where we go, I could see Executive of the Year. I keep saying this, and my receipts are public record now. Go look at my video that I made where I said the New York Knicks are going to be Golden State Warriors in 2024. I predicted that 2024 was going to be the champion. I ride with you, my guy. Knicks will be 2026 NBA champions, but I said 2024 this year. So I'm hoping. I know we both hoping that I'm right. We just need one. Let's just get one out of the way. I want to ride this thing till the wheels fall off. Because anytime you talk about NBA champions who won in the past, things had to align the right way. You never remember what superstar on opposing teams got injured. You never know. You never remember that one, thing that went wrong, like the New York Knicks when everybody got suspended that season. They never talk about that being the reason. They'll never talk about, the more time that passes, they'll never talk about the bubble championship for the Lakers. Occasionally they'll mention it, but it still counts as their championship. All we need is for health and things to go right. You never know if the Bucks are going to stay healthy. You never know what's going to happen that'll clear our path to that championship. Something about this year feels like that's the year. It'll be so validating if we get an Executive of the Year award. Because usually when that happens is when the team is completely turned around and, you're contending for championships. They're talking about us now as contenders for championships. So crazy. So I'm with you. Knicks 2026 NBA champions also says the Knicks team as a whole is better than the Tip Chicago Bulls team. We are. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. But it gave me those vibes. The big task at hand says, no, I don't want Tips to coach the All-Star game. Tips might give away some of our concepts to help opposing teams down the stretch. You're right. You're right. We got to guard what we're doing. But I love that. What I will say, though, is the New York Knicks have a great mix of veterans. We got a good mix of youth that are now like young veterans as well. And I mean, it's crazy right now. We play defense. We have a 3-point game. We got two beasts in the middle. We have a versatile game. And teams are starting to notice that. And I love the fact that now they're questioning, do the New York Knicks actually need a superstar? And this is what we've been telling them for the longest time. Our depth is crazy. And the buy-in in terms of what Tibbs is selling is there. We are like, they're saying we're 1 or 2 pieces away. I fully believe that with those minutes, Deuce can adjust. He could fill the role. I heard some people was just like, I'm not comfortable with what Deuce is doing. I'm just thinking in terms of the playoffs, whether or not he is going to be able to be good enough of a shot maker, good enough of a playmaker to help us get over the top. Listen, I graduated from Hofstra University. And when I was attending Hofstra, there was a basketball player that was there by the name of Craig Claxton. He's currently the coach of the team, but he was known as Speedy Claxton. And man, he set that he set the CAA on fire that season. And then he got drafted to the NBA. And he got drafted, I believe, to the 76ers. But then he got traded to the San Antonio Spurs. Or vice versa. I think he got drafted to the San Antonio Spurs because he was integral in helping them win a championship. First season in the league, he helped the San Antonio Spurs get an NBA championship. You never know who's going to step up in the playoffs. This is why stars are made and superstars are stamped in the playoffs based on how they perform in the playoffs and in the championship. That's how Donovan Mitchell got stamped as becoming a superstar. When he made that run and him and Jamal Murray was going back and forth, that's when everybody was like, ooh, I can't wait for the playoffs for Jaylen Brunson. Now with his boys around him, you got DiVincenzo, who is shooting 3-pointers like Steph Curry. Can we talk about DiVincenzo? And that man's accuracy, that man's quick release, the fact that man's 3-pointers are high arcing, that he barely touches the net. Josh Hart rebounding like he's a power forward. Hart, come on, man. What we talking? Let's talk like we got the deepest team in the league. Can we do that? Let's talk about that. So let's not listen to the major media. They're just now starting to feel as if we are important enough to pay attention to. And the deeper they dive, then they're discovering, oh my God, like, look, they are a team that's built like no other team in this league right now. This is why you got the Tim Leglers speaking with so much excitement. This is why you got the Zach Lowe's now speaking with so much excitement. Oh my God, they're the team to watch. I just can't wait to the next game. I just can't wait to watch this team. Yeah, Ninja. This is what we've been trying to tell you, Ninja. This is what we've been experiencing all this time, Ninja. You were so locked in and focused on these names that are now old and they're descending and they're going silently into the night. We was trying to tell you this is what was brewing in New York. We were already trying to tell you that. You just now discovering it. But yeah, I don't care. We don't care how late you are to the party. Welcome into the party. We don't care. Come on in. We don't got no seats. Sit on the floor though. This is how we do it in Rucker. Sit, yeah. Just sit on the bleachers. It's cool. Sit down and enjoy. We deep as F. And I'm telling you, anytime the NBA has a champion, then every other team, this is a copycat league. Anytime there's a team that has success, then other teams start looking and saying, okay, maybe we need to build it like that. And I'm telling you why this is true. Because every time we play against another team, I listen to the opposing commentators. And when we play when we play Charlotte, guess what Charlotte commentators were saying? Guess what Del Curry was saying, about the New York Knicks? Well, maybe, I think the Charlotte Hornets can take some notes from the New York Knicks and how they rebuilt their team. Maybe we should start doing it that way. Get it piece by piece and looking and then focus on defense and then start, they're paying attention to what we're doing. We are now setting the trends as New York always does. We set the trends. They're paying attention now. They're paying attention. I love it. I love it. A couple of things I want to also point out. There's now the people starting to talk about, oh, yeah. So iHeart got to be that starter. So they're starting to have that Mitch versus iHeart. They want to run with that theme. I'm starting to see the major media pick that up. We don't care about none of that. Mitch has already said in the past whether I'm starting or whether I'm backing up, as long as we winning. That's my brother. Don't fall into that. Don't even show that as if that's going to be a challenge that we have to face when Mitch comes back. Mitch got off of social media because he started to see that bubbling. Don't do that. As a fan base, let's not add to the toxicity. Okay? We don't want that swamp. Media's going to do enough of that. Both of those boys are close. Whoever starts, whoever backs up, we still going to punish that second unit. The starting unit and the backup unit are both important. Because once the starters come out, we want to still have the same level. The New York Knicks in the 90s, once again, this is why I love the parallels. There was a point in time where we had Herb Williams on the bench. We had Rolando Blackman on the bench. We had Chris Charles as a starter. I think we had Charlie Ward, either on the bench. But our bench was so deep, they used to say that our bench could be a starting unit for another team in the league. That's exactly what we want. So don't make it sound like a demotion if they're on the bench. We got Quentin Grimes. We got Deuce McBride. If we have iHeart or if we have Mitch, we are going to still be dominating offensive and defensive boards. We're still going to be a problem at the point of attack for the second unit. We will be pushing up the score by the time the starters come back in. So stop with the Mitch, iHeart, or we play better. As it don't matter. As a whole of the team, we're still going to be a problem for the league. Run with that as a narrative. But please stop with the Mitch versus the iHeart. Please stop. Okay? And please stop with, oh, Randle, we know he's going to do that in the regular season. I just want to see how he performs in the playoffs. Because what it sounds like is that you're taking Randle for granted. It sounds like you're taking Randle for granted that what he does, anybody can do. That's so funny. Everybody's kind of like, oh, yeah, we just throw Randle in there and we pull this one in. Look, y'all act like what Randle does is common. It's not common. It's not common. And yeah, you could go back on my channel at the very beginning. I'm one of the biggest critics of Randle when he was playing low IQ basketball. The man's maturation and development of his game in this New York spotlight is unparalleled. There's not a lot of people who can do what Julius Randle does. I think we're starting to appreciate that, but I do hear the murmurs, so we need to kind of cut with that quickly, okay? What I love about this team, though, is once we get a lead, we don't stop there. Once we get a lead, we put our foot on their necks. We keep our foot on their necks. And then we use the other foot to press the gas. All gas, no brakes. This New York Knicks team continues to run up the score. We run this mother flipper up. And I laugh because it used to be like teams can't score. There's no creativity in the offense. You need good players who can put the ball in the basket. Everybody's so quick to point at the coach. It's the players that play the game. And now that we got the players who can put the ball in the basket, you see we run up the score. 15-point leads, 20-point leads, 30-point leads. Y'all better talk to me. What are we doing? That's what we doing. We not only going to keep you in jail, we're going to run up the cost for bail. It's going to be impossible. It takes energy to mount comebacks. When we up, we stay up. When we down, we get up. Come on, man. Your New York Knicks are different this year. Your New York Knicks are different this year. We different. We a different breed. That's so crazy. And you know when we different. You know when we are playing the style of basketball. You know when we are on the same page, when Tom Thibodeau, all that man does is smile. That man walking in press conferences laughing. That man is like, I'm sitting there like, yo, hey, yo, is this our coach? Yo, Tom is laughing. He's making jokes. He talking about, I hate people. Yo, you know it's a good space without, he got something to smile about, bro. The man had to figure out, he's just like, how am I going to get these points? He preached for the first 3 years, he preached about it being a grind. We got to continue to grind. This is about the grind. Everything is a grind. In New York, we got to grind. We got to grind. We got to grind. You grind out wins when you have a tough time scoring. He was figuring out how to still win, compensating for the offensive inability of the people we had on the team. When you make shots and you pass the ball around, the ball moves. The ball does not stick anymore. We had to go from really 3 major scorers to 2. And once we put the ball in the 2 of their hands, everybody else fell into their roles. The offense opened up. So this is why you don't listen to the media when they say they need another superstar. Why? What we're doing is working. We got 2 offensive juggernauts that people have still yet to figure out. Put this team against that Atlanta team the first time we make the playoffs and tell me they still win. They told us to our face, we know how to stop Julius. Everybody else is going to have to beat us. We had Elfrid Payton as the point guard. Good Lord. And although that dude was doing this thing defensively, he couldn't throw the ball in the ocean. Couldn't throw the ball in the ocean. So it's so crazy. So crazy to see Tibbs smile. He's smiling because he's just like, you're done effed up, right? You know you done effed up, right? You done gave me? You gave me? Y'all want to do this to me? King Kong ain't got nothing on me now that I have all the players that fit exactly what I want to do. Y'all done went out and shopped and got exactly all the ingredients this man asked for his recipe. And all of them love what he does. And for you minute police people out there, I'm just concerned, we're going to run these players in the ground. Listen, the same time you will point out that, Brunson has played 40 minutes and Julius has played 39 minutes. And this players, you look at other teams, they did that the other day. They pointed at Phoenix. Phoenix had 2 players that played 40 minutes. One played 39, another had 38. I laugh because when LeBron James jockeys for being the GOAT, right? And then some people are pointing out, well, he played 19 years. Yeah, that's in the not hand-checking era. That's also in an era where, load management was the call of the game. They're taking games off. They're not completed. All of this. And Jordan did what he did in a shorter period of time, but he never missed a game. He was playing 82 games, like many of his seasons. 40 minutes, whatever it took, overtime, whatever it took. Winning championships. So not only you playing 82 games, you playing the 16 or whatever it takes for you to get to the championship. And does that wear on your knees? Yes. Which is why he had a shorter period of time. He accomplished more in a shorter period of time. Was Patrick's knees burnt out? Yes. But he was still a Hall of Famer, 15 straight seasons making the playoffs. Tight rotations, both teams. 8 or 9 players. Both teams. This is what happened in the 90s. Yes, I will take a stretch of dominance in a shorter period of years any day than load managing these players and in them having 16, 17, 18-year careers. I'd take that any day. Let Tibbs do what he does. Let him do what he does. Injuries happen. Y'all can put what y'all want to put on Derrick Rose and his injuries all you want. Derrick Rose, his athletic ability was reckless. The number of times the man is jumping out of the building and landing on those knees, his whole career, whether with Tibbs or not, it was something like that had a possibility of happening. But everybody wants to ride with that narrative. Stop riding with negative narratives that reflect negatively on your own team. It's already happening. It shouldn't be coming from us. It's already happened. Everybody else is already doing it, whether it's in print media, digital media, social media. Everybody else is going to do it. Why are we doing it for ourselves? Let's stop it. Is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Big Task at Hand says, 2026, salute my guy, but during the game, they might ask him questions which can bring his guard down. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm jumping around. Big Task at Hand also says, talk to him, Shea. Listen, I'm trying. I'm loving it. My guy Knicks will be 2026 NBA champ says, as a fan base, we really don't have anything to complain about with this team. Bro, it's a beautiful time. It's a beautiful time for us right now. My guy also says, Mikal Bridges will be the one big trade I would make right now. Listen, bro, the beautiful part about it is we got options, right? We got options. We got so many options. And now what we're starting to see is all of those players who really, really spoke disparagingly about the New York Knicks, who really who grew up seeing the New York Knicks as losers. They're starting to retire. And there's a whole new crop that's coming. There's a whole new crop of superstar players that are coming who now will only know the New York Knicks as teams that have made the playoffs and the teams that are now coming into their own and dominating by 15 points, by 20 points, by 30 points. There's a whole new crop of babies that are coming up. You got Carmelo Anthony's son. You got Kenyon Martin's son. You got the Bronny Juniors and everybody. You got players who are now starting to wear the blue and orange. They're starting to wear the blue and orange, and they're going to be witnesses to Jaylen Brunson's greatness. And they're going to be the ones that want to play as a New York Knicks fan for the New York Knicks organization. So I'm loving where we are right now. Creeping up in the East. Yo, we are about to look. We are tonight with the win tonight, and I'm already calling it Bron or no Bron. We're going to be in this game. Our superstars going to show up. Our New York Knicks players will stick to the script, and we're going to get this victory. LA is LA in name right now. They are struggling. They're struggling. So I'm expecting to come out here with 10 straight. I said I didn't even have to look at the schedule, and I think we're going to hit 12 straight for the first time, I think, ever in a while. I don't know when's the last time the New York Knicks have had a 12-game winning streak. I don't know when the last time that was. Somebody could look that up and tell me. I'd appreciate it. I don't know when that was. Ray Gomez says, I haven't heard you talk about OG. You know what? Thank you, bro. Thank you. Can we talk about OG? Can we talk about OG? Let's talk about this man. Bro, I was talking to my cousin and I said, OG reminds me of Pip, Scottie Pippen. OG also reminds me of Indiana Pacers Ron Artest without the fighting. But when he was defensive player of the year and he was wreaking havoc on the league defensively, what OG has brought to us has been immeasurable. Immeasurable. Like his activity in passing lanes, crazy. The fact that he plays 1 through 5, we've never had a player who could play 1 through 5. If I'm missing there, somebody let me know. But I can't recall a player. I know D'Antoni one time tried to use Wilson Chandler that way. No, nothing even close. We've never had a player who you could plug in 1 through 5. I had no idea what we would be getting in OG Anunoby. Once we traded for him, even when the rumors were out there that we were interested in getting him, I would try to watch film. And I was just like, I'm not really impressed. Like, what does this guy do? Why are we really trying to What is his value? I really didn't know what he brought to the team. And that's because what he brings to a team doesn't reflect in stats. What he brings to the team is really tough to see unless you are watching the games in full. Yo, the immediate thing when we faced the Timberwolves and when we faced those major teams that we got good victories on, the one thing that stood out was when the star guards that usually kill us, popped up on our schedule. Tom Thibodeau would flash him on those guards. So all the times when we think, damn, it's going to be a tit for tat with Brunson with this other star guard, we have a hard time containing them. Tom Thibodeau was like, nah, JB, nah, OG, let me see what you could do on that guy. And then OG with his long arms would be disrupting the drive, would prevent them from getting out on a fast break or pushing the ball once they get the ball out of bounds. Like the fact that you can flash OG on a 1 or on a 2 is crazy to me. Or the fact that he's blocking a Joel Embiid shot and he's disrupting Jokic. Bro, we have a player at the small forward position playing that level of defense. So in addition to those two players, I know Scottie Pippen is a Hall of Fame player. I know Artest is a Defensive Player of the Year. But he also reminded me of a San Antonio young Kawhi. And it helps the fact that he played behind championship Kawhi in Toronto. And that in the regular season, he contributed to that run. He learned the tricks of the trade from that man. And the personality is similar. That's why I said he's New York's version of Kawhi. So Ray, I appreciate you reminding me to bring this man up. He has been the difference maker. He has completely shifted the mindset. He walks into the room. Now we are complete in our defensive identity. And this is no knock on anybody else that used to be here who's no longer here. But when that man walked into the room, everybody else in the NBA was just like, shh, Houston, we got a problem. Houston, we got a problem. The New York Knicks are starting to look like their identity. This is the final form for the New York Knicks in terms of their identity and us going back to being a defensive juggernaut. And we're doing it without Mitch right now. Wait till we get Mitch back. Wait till we get fully healthy by the playoffs. Who wants some of us? Nobody wants none of us. OG, man, that's one of the best. Look, put some respect on Leon Rose's name. Put some respect on Leon Rose's name. All of the moves that he made, low-key getting Hartenstein, low-key getting Josh Hart, all of these moves that he made, being able to get Jaylen Brunson, all of these moves that he made, getting DiVincenzo, getting OG Anunoby. Come on, oh, what are we talking? The fact that he's moving in silence, not talking to the media except for when he wants to or when he has to. Come on, man. And this is why, sometimes we don't need to know everything. Sometimes we don't need to know everything. We think Leon is sleeping at the wheel. Maybe we just got to shut up and just let them work. This is Knicks Deli, baby. Everybody eats. But we got to let them cook. We don't want raw food. And I was telling somebody the other day, I said the biggest mistake that we made was when D'Antoni was on the clock and he let the word get out that he was interested in Steph Curry. If that man would have shut up and had the same level of lockdown silence in terms of what your moves are going to be that Leon Rose has had, maybe we wouldn't be in this situation. Maybe we would be a team that has already won a championship because we had the best generational shooter in the history of the NBA. So when we sit here, we're talking about the fact that Leon, we cannot continue to join in on the chorus of the narratives that are speaking negatively about the New York Knicks. We can't continue to do that. Let's not ride with them, y'all. But this OG move is crazy. I love it, bro. I love it, bro. I haven't bought a jersey in forever. And there's already whose jersey I wouldn't buy right now. I'd buy Brunson. I'd buy Julius. I'd buy Anunoby. I'd buy DiVincenzo. Let's go. I'd buy DiVincenzo. I'd buy a Josh Hart jersey. When you're a Knicks fan and you identify with all of the players, there isn't a player I don't love on this squad right now, bro. There's not a player I don't love on this squad. Yo, it's a phenomenal time to be a Knicks fan. It's a phenomenal time, yo. Y'all, come on, man. So what y'all saying on the chat, man? It's so much I want to get into. And you know what? I think I want to pull y'all in. Y'all want to talk? You know what I mean? Y'all want to join this chat? Let me hear how y'all feel, man. Because I got so much on here. I don't want to be talking at y'all today. I know we got this game coming up. I'm gonna put the invite in it. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. Y'all want to hop on? Yo, hop on to this joint. Hold on for a second. Let me see if I could do this thing up. It's been a while. Yo, you here at Knicks Deli? Do me a favor. If you're in the chat, throw some likes up there for me. And I know I ain't go to live in like a while. Help me pull this thing off, man. You know, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know anytime I'm on here. It is rare, but bam, that link is in the chat. If you want to hop on here, talk about your New York Knicks, let me know how you feel. Let's do this, man. I'm feeling good. New York Knicks is now set in the trend for defense again. We making defense cool again. You hear that, KD? You hear that, KD? New York Knicks ain't cool? Yeah, what we doing now, we setting the trends again. We setting the trends. New York has always set trends, okay? We setting them trends again. That's what we doing. Yo, if you've ever been doubted, come to New York. If you've ever been doubted and overlooked, come to New York, okay? Now, all of a sudden, people's eyes are back on the Mecca, all right? It's no coincidence, like my guy says, that Clutch now wants to mend fences with Leon. No coincidence, okay? Because you see what we done did. We done re-solidified that foundation. Now, it makes sense to make amends, right? It makes sense to make amends. And now the rumors are out about LeBron. Hey, look. Hey, hold on for a second. Let me see if I can pull something up. Hold on for a second, because I saw something that popped up where I think LeBron was like, "Yo, yeah, you know, I put some thought to the possibility of playing in Madison Square Garden." And I don't know if that was an old quote or a new quote, but you know, everybody sees us. You know, everybody sees us now. Okay, and I love it. I can't find it, so I don't want to take up too much time and get crazy looking for it. But I love it. Hold on for a second. We'll find it eventually. But yeah, yo, that's out there now. That's out there. So let's see my guy APAP. What's going on, APAP? I'm gonna hit y'all in the chat right now because I apologize. I've been missing y'all out. Welcome back, my brother. He says, I also hear Rich Paul and Leon Rose settled their static. Yes, I hear that too. Yo, Leon is a master, bro. Leon, there's got to be a point in time where people give credit to Jim Dolan. Hire the people that can help you turn your organization around. Get out of the way. If I'm being honest, even in my real work life, I moved back to New York last April. I'm in a leadership role. And the biggest challenge that I've had is let the people who you have to help you, let them do their job. Sometimes you got to let go of the reins as the master of the universe. People were hired to do a job. Let them do their job. Give them the reins. And as much as you want to jump in and be like, oh, well, I would like for it to be this way or that way, let them cats cook. Let them work. And that's what Dolan has done, bringing Leon in. And the main reason, let's be honest, the main reason Rich Paul, Leon Rose had beef, main reason for that was, Leon Rose brought those cats in. They were on CAA. And then Rich Paul and them wanted to break off and have their own. And then they became ops. And I can almost guarantee you it's nowhere written out there, so I'm completely assuming, okay? This is my, theory? Conspiracy theory. My biggest thing was they were mad that Leon Rose took the job at Madison Square Garden. They wanted to continue to freeze out that New York market, freeze out Jim Dolan, because LeBron wasn't coming to New York. LeBron is accustomed to going into an organization that will allow him to dictate the moves of that organization. LeBron wanted to be a GM behind the scenes, just like he is the motivating factor and the person that pulls the strings for Clutch. That's his agency. Rich Paul is the figurehead. But LeBron knows that had he come to New York, he wouldn't have been able to pull the strings. That's the reason Pat Riley left and went to Miami, because Dolan and Glenn Grunwald at that time was not going to allow him. Was it Glenn Grunwald? I believe so. Ernie Grunfeld wasn't going to allow. They didn't want to give Pat Riley power. So Pat Riley said, I'm going to go to who's going to give me power. The same thing with LeBron. He wouldn't have got power coming to New York. There wasn't relinquishing that. So he was just like, nah, I'm not going there, But that's the thing. The moment Leon accepted that role, he knew he was going to be key in helping New York emerge as a force. And now they're the ops. And they will be competing for players. Okay? So all of a sudden there's this, truce. And I appreciate that. We want to make sure we minimize the number of enemies we have in this league. And you got to give Rich Paul and Clutch credit. They have a powerful grip on a lot of players. But with the success of Leon and him and the New York Knicks organization being affiliated as a CAA organization, there's nobody that's impressive to me on the Clutch roster. It's LeBron, it's AD at the top. There's nobody that's impressive to me. But soon there's going to be players that are on the come up. Right now you got the Wemby's and the Chets and all of these young players that are on the come up. Who is going to sign to Clutch or CAA, the two powerhouses in the league? So I'm happy that they mended fences. Let's see what happens. Some people ask me like, yo, shit, do you want LeBron? And honestly, I feel like many Knicks fans feel the same way. Bro, you had your chance. You had your chance. Don't hop on this train. Would he get us a championship? Probably. I know if they pulled that off and he joined us, there would be a lot of adjustments we would have to make. It would be almost an immediate pivot, instant expectations. That narrative will change. Everything that comes with LeBron, all of that. I understand all of that. But if we really New York, we appreciate the fact that we had to get it out of the mud, and that we can prove that not only can we get it out of the mud, but we could turn these cold rocks that we pulled out of the mud into diamonds. And we did it without having to cheat the process, without having to cut corners. And it's completely the antithesis of what LeBron James has done in his career by forming a super team and cutting corners to get to the championship. That's why he'll never be the GOAT. That's why nobody will ever respect him as the GOAT, even if everything on his resume says he should be the GOAT. So I answer that question about shit, would you be interested in would you want LeBron? I answer that question by saying I trust whatever Leon does. Whatever Leon chooses to do, I'm riding with. Because everything that he has pressed so far has worked. Everything he has pressed so far has worked. So I'm riding with it. So let's see. Let me read a couple more of these. My guy Ray Gomez says, OG speak on his offensive ability. Yeah, I touched on that. Yo, bro. You're right. Let me touch on it a little bit more. First and foremost, every time he puts up a corner three, I think it's going in. Every time. His personality is so Kawhi, and it's so Jaylen Brunson. I love that. He is like a silent but deadly third option. Offensively, is he what we probably need to really be dominant over the next few years? I think we may be a piece off. But it is too crazy, the difference that you notice with him in that corner three on either side. When Julius draws that double and he's looking to pass over the top, when he passes to OG, that's an assist for Julius. You could see the trust factor now that Julius has. Julius trusts that when he makes that pass and he holds that ball and he pivots and he got the two people guarding him and he sees OG, when he throws in that pass, he knows it's in. And each time I'm like, you watch it and I'm so accustomed to it hitting the backboard or being missed. OG cashes that in. And then when Julius is out and he's in there with a lot of the runs, we're starting to see now his versatility to be able to score. I think we're only scratching the surface because he's still figuring out. He doesn't want to step on toes. He needs time to show the coaches what he can do. And I think he needs also to be comfortable with his role on the team, playing in the New York market, and let his game unfold. And it's only going to unfold more and more as we finish up the season, the second half of the season, and as we get into the playoffs, and as we see him in pressurized moments. The word on the street was when he left Toronto that he was dissatisfied with the level of touches he had in the offense, that he really wanted an opportunity to show what he can do offensively. So a lot of people was just like, oh, listen, all right. So he's leaving Toronto, but he's going to a team with Jaylen Brunson and Julius Randle. And that was the same problem that RJ was having, trying to find a way to get shots so he could get, he could show what he could do offensively. Well, what we've seen in a short period of time was the difference between OG Anunoby and RJ is a more volume scorer. RJ is an absolute volume scorer, and he needs his rhythm to really kind of put up buckets. OG is doing what he's doing in short minutes. So his efficiency is kind of crazy. His plus minus is through the roof. And he's shown the ability, at least now, and this could be the honeymoon process, where he's kind of satisfied with, all right, whatever minimum touches he's getting, we're winning. We're winning. And even though he's not scoring at the clip that allegedly he wanted to, he's still engaged in the game. And his teammates, the love that he's getting he's getting from the city, man, I'm just loving it for him. Defensive and offensively, man, he's the perfect fit. Sometimes it's not about the superstar. It's about the fit. It is about the fit. He is beyond a glove perfect fit for the New York Knicks. Beyond. I can't wait to see what he does in the playoffs for us. I can't wait. I can't wait to see how Tibbs really maximizes him. Tibbs has an ability to maximize their players. And I talk about Tibbs creating stars. When we talk about the glove, he could be the glove 2.0 or the cloth. I can't wait. I just can't wait to see what type of name he develops into under Tibbs. So OG has been manna from heaven, bro. Absolute. APAP says that would be the funniest thing I can believe that story in terms of clutch. Yeah, absolutely, man. Let me scroll down. I know I'm a little bit behind. APAP also says, not for nothing, every team LeBron James has left in the dumpster is a dumpster fire. He has never had loyalty, and the team has no assets because they traded them away because he's want the next great thing. Yo, between him and KD, I don't know. I just think that's at the end of the road. I think the New York Knicks should continue on the path that they're on. I think it's going to, as LeBron descends, the New York Knicks are ascending. And the New York Knicks, once again, are setting their own trends. So they should have their eyes out for who is the next ascending type of star. You get a player like an Anthony Edwards. And right now we're not star chasing. We're not star chasing or stargazing. But a player on the uptick like an Anthony Edwards, and this is the value of Brunson now being selected to the national team, having had an opportunity to develop a relationship of respect with Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards didn't respect RJ Barrett. That was his peer. But the moment they had an opportunity on the national team, even though Anthony Edwards was the best player, he called Brunson the head of the snake. And we saw when he played Toronto, when they dapped up, he dapped up Brunson with deference. He showed deference to Brunson, almost like that's a big bro. Like that's my big bro. That's what you want. That's how Brunson moves. That's the energy Brunson moves with. No matter what room that he's in, he moves with like a Chris Paul type of energy, not the asshole side. But the fact that they know that, listen, he's a leader. He's one of the leaders, which is why he's going to get selected for the major team, the big team when they get called up. Because that energy, he moves like he doesn't defer to anybody. He respects everybody, but he doesn't defer to anybody. So that's the type of personality that would attract an Anthony Edwards. If he decides, you know what? I've done what I needed here. I'm looking for this type of team. And he decides he wants to come to New York. That's the type of player we should look at, not players like Paul George or bringing back Carmelo Anthony. I know he wouldn't be in a star role, but no, let those players go. Either if they were here before, one time, Nick, always a Nick, that's fine. If they had the opportunity and it didn't come to us in the past, let them go. That ship is sailed. Don't wait until we right our ship. And now we are not just competent. We're not just on the right track, but we're showing flashes of dominance, and we're showing flashes of having a superstar player right now and in the making. Don't come to us now. Don't align. Don't try to be the final piece to us now when you could have been the building piece and could have fast-tracked it, because when people would have seen you accepted the challenge, they would have joined you. We don't want that now. We don't want none of that now. None of them cookies. You keep your cookies. We don't want none of that now. You had your shot. So, yeah, they're on the way out. I want to be part of the new wave. Knicks fans, just think of this. New York is part of the new wave. And so, this is a completely new era where the biggest market, I don't care what they talking in LA. I don't care what they talking in Chicago. It's a reason they call it the second city. When New York is part of that new wave, that's going to be dominant or have a dominant voice that's a title contender for years to come. When New York is part of that top three, and they're talking about it in the media now, but they moved Philly out and New York is part of that top 5 in terms of championship contenders. Come on, baby. We back up. You put your Knicks cap on like my guy in the wire, and I want you to put the word on the street that New York is back up. That's what we are. We don't want none of that old school stuff. And it's only fitting and it's funny. Said it when it happened. I said it the moment the New York Knicks got Jaylen Brunson. That's when you started seeing Trae Young start going on his podcast tour. And he started seeking sympathy. I never asked to be the villain. My ninja, what are you talking about? You done took a bow on Madison Square Garden's floor. You came in there with sneakers on that said King of New York. You knew the smoke you wanted. You just didn't expect that the Knicks fans would give you all that smoke, even if we weren't winning. You didn't expect us to keep that same energy, but we did. And over this past summer, you tried to go on your crying tour. I met the criteria, but I wasn't selected for the national team. Well, you know what it was. You missed your shot. Because the moment Zion looked like he was questionable, and the moment John Morant looked like he was going to shoot himself in the foot with all these gun videos or whatever have you, Adam Silver looked around real quick and he saw the potential of Brunson in the New York market and that taking off. So he quickly added Brunson and he gave his friend a shot too, because the importance of a player like Josh Hart. He pivoted. He saw the trajectory of where New York was going. So you took your opportunity for granted. And they chose Brunson over Trae Young. That was the first step. And then now with this, he may still get on the All-Star game because of injury to maybe Julius Randle. But that was another snub. You find yourself once again on the outside looking in. And on the inside is Jaylen Brunson. Don't poo-poo that New York market. You tried to go on all of the shows, Gil's Arena, and you tried to use Gil Arena to talk junk for you. Oh, New York fans are delusional. New York market is terrible. And you're sitting there like, ha, 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 ha. And then you go on Paul George podcast or wherever you went, talking about, I didn't ask to become a villain. Oh, why New York fans are treating you like that? Like, talking about we can't keep our name out your mouth. You can't keep your name out. Talking about we can't keep your name out of our mouths and you can't keep our name out of yours. But I think you done lost your spot, bro. You done lost your spot to the Brundertaker, bro. You done lost your spot to the Wolves of Wall Street, bro. We here now. We here. Man, so what else are we talking? I'm going to wrap this up too, man. I'm trying to get into the gym before it closes and before the game comes on. Ray Gomez says the Knicks have to build culture. Grimes and McBride, we good. The Knicks have to build culture. Grimes and McBride, we good. AP also says, right, this is what they should do. Look for a guy on his upside. They did it with Allen Houston. They did it with Jaylen Brunson. No more of these over-the-hill 40-year-olds. Yeah, those days are over. AP also says maybe the Lakers should bring back Phil Jackson. They have LeBron James, right? Facts. So I want to thank you guys for joining me, man. Look, there's a couple of things I just wanted to do before I wrap up. Listen, it's a good time. You know what I mean? This game tonight, I'm looking forward to it. Let's see what it is. You do know that LeBron James is going to play. You do know that, right? So that whole sitting out until you see him in street clothes on the sidelines for tonight's game, don't believe that. Don't believe that. What do I have here? It says people are saying Knicks fans are setting themselves up for failure. Don't buy into that as well. Enjoy your team. Enjoy this journey. We're playing great basketball. We are fun to watch. Bro, we are fun to watch. We never give up. We're never out of a game. Jaylen Brunson is an isolation superstar on a team that thrives on ball movement. It's just not supposed to happen, but it's happening. We are the best team in New York sports right now. We are the talk of the town. Knicks fans, lose your goddamn minds. Go ahead. You have permission. You have permission. Go lose your mind. You better talk your talk. Let's stay humble, but let's stay humbly disrespectful. Because there was a lot of disrespect and there was a lot of disrespect on our names out in these streets. So you make sure that you remind them that we remember that. You make sure you remind them and that we remember that every moment you can. Talk your talk on Twitter. Enjoy this game tonight. I'm expecting a victory. I'm expecting 52 wins this season. Tom Thibodeau, with every team, usually within a few years, accomplishes 50 plus wins. And he's yet to do it with the New York Knicks, so we are due. Okay? I predicted 52 wins. So I'm hoping that this is 52 plus. If we can get more than that, let's go. Let's go. But I want a title, and I want a title this season. All right. Keep this in mind. The same thing applies to life that applies to our team. If there's no struggle, there's no progress. But remember this: whether it's in real life or in these YouTube streets, here at Knicks Deli, everybody eats. Enjoy the game, folks. Enjoy the game. I'm out. I'm gonna try to do some lives more. More than likely, I'll have time on the weekends. But yo, let's watch these teams. Look for some videos from me and enjoy the rest of your evening. Have a great weekend. Peace.